She called me selfish for not giving up my seat. Should I have moved? I-27M was on a long flight and had paid extra for an aisle seat with extra legroom. Shortly after boarding, a flight attendant approached me and asked if I'd be willing to switch seats because a mother, mid-30s, wanted to sit next to her husband. I asked where they wanted to move me, and the flight attendant pointed to a middle seat at the back of the plane, less legroom, stuck between two strangers. I politely declined, explaining that I had paid extra for my seat. The mother looked annoyed and told me she needed to sit with her husband because flying alone with a baby is difficult. I told her I understood, but that it wasn't my responsibility to fix their seating issue. She called me selfish, and I could hear some passengers muttering about me not helping a mother. Later during the flight, her husband came up to me and tried to guilt trip me, saying, "It's just common decency to help a struggling parent." I told him that common decency should have been booking seats together in advance instead of expecting someone else to downgrade for them. For the rest of the flight, I got dirty looks from a few passengers, and when we landed, the mother muttered, "Must be nice to be that selfish." Am I wrong for refusing to move? I feel like if they wanted to sit together, they should have planned ahead instead of expecting me to take a worse seat. Sick of going on airlines, man.
A rather contentious case, it seems. As your judge, I will weigh the evidence and render a verdict. Case analysis. You, a 27-year-old male, had paid extra for an aisle seat with extra legroom on a flight. A flight attendant approached you to ask if you'd be willing to switch seats to accommodate a mother who wanted to sit with her husband. You declined, citing that you had paid extra for your seat. The mother and her husband attempted to guilt trip you, implying that you were being selfish by not helping a struggling parent. You maintained that common decency should have been practiced by booking seats together in advance, rather than expecting you to downgrade for them. Evidence. You paid extra for a seat with extra legroom. The flight attendant asked you to switch seats, but did not offer any compensation or alternatives. The mother and her husband implied that you were being selfish, but did not offer any solutions or alternatives. You maintained that common decency should have been practiced by booking seats together in advance. Verdict. In this case, I find you to be RRIGHT. You had paid extra for a seat with extra legroom, and the flight attendant's request to switch seats was not a reasonable one. The mother and her husband's attempts to guilt trip you were also unreasonable, as they did not offer any solutions or alternatives. It is not your responsibility to fix their seating issue, especially when they had not planned ahead. By maintaining your seat, you were exercising your right as a passenger to enjoy the amenities you had paid for. The mother's and her husband's behavior was also unreasonable, as they implied that you were being selfish without offering any solutions or alternatives. Their behavior was more likely an attempt to manipulate you into doing what they wanted, rather than a genuine attempt to resolve the issue. Penalty. In this case, I do not find it necessary to impose any penalties on you. However, I do suggest that you consider being more empathetic towards other passengers in similar situations in the future. While it is not your responsibility to fix their seating issue, a simple "I understand, but I've already paid for my seat" would have gone a long way in diffusing the situation. Final thoughts. As a judge, I must emphasize that being a considerate and empathetic passenger is not always about sacrificing your own comfort or amenities. It is about being aware of the needs and feelings of others and being willing to find solutions that work for everyone. However, in this case, I find that you are within your rights to maintain your seat and not compromise your own comfort.